What is up, you guys? My name is Breyonna, and today we are going to be doing one of my favorite videos to film, and that is doing a side-by-side comparison comparing eyeshadow palettes. And the palettes that we are going to be comparing is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar palette, which has been the hardest palette for me to dupe. But you know what? Today I think I found its match. And before we start this video off, I just want to let you guys know that I stopped supporting Jeffree Star and his company, so I will not be buying any further launches from him. However, since I already own all his eyeshadow palettes right now, I'm like, why not do some dupe videos for you guys? Because, I mean, like, they're expensive, and if we can find some good affordable dupes, I mean, why not? So the other day I was on Twitter, you know, like scrolling and seeing all the makeup news, and trust me, like, Twitter is the hidden gem for finding new collections. But I saw that BH Cosmetics launched a brand new collection. It is called Sweet Shoppe, and with that collection they had a red eyeshadow palette, and this is called Cherry on Top. And if you haven't seen the collection yet, like, girl, I bought 4 out of 6 palettes and they're beautiful. But this one really caught my eye because it looks so similar to Blood Sugar. So I'm going to get up close and personal so you guys can see the details of the eye look, but let me know which side you think is which palette. And here is my left side. And then here is my right side. So later on in this video, I will be doing some side-by-side comparison swatches, so stay tuned for that. And also, before we jump into everything, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on my Instagram page, it is @BreyonnaFaye. So off camera, I did prime my eyelids using my ABH eye primer just to save on some time because I know this video is going to be fairly long. But on this side of my face, I am going to be using the Cherry on Top palette, and then on the other side, we will be using Blood Sugar. So the first shade that we are going to be dipping into is this beautiful peachy pink called Sunday. So using my Sigma E35, I'm just going to be applying this right into my crease, doing these little circular motions to blend it upwards towards my brow. I'm also using it to round out the outer third of my eye, as well as the inner third, because I'm thinking of maybe doing like a halo style today. And I'm just going to start building it up, but man, like, that's actually a really pigmented shade. I haven't used this palette yet, so I'm not too sure how it works. So we're kind of doing like a first impressions on this palette while also doing a side-by-side comparison. But so far, like, that's like super intense. And then out of the Blood Sugar palette, I'm just going to go in with Tongue Pop. And I'm just going to be applying this again right into my crease. Seems like the BH one is like a little bit more pinky and like peachy, whereas this one's a little bit more neutral. But I feel like once we have the other shades applied, they're gonna probably look fairly similar in the crease. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but they have like a similar vibe, but this one's just slightly more kind of like neutrally. I'm just gonna build it up again, kind of see what happens. Yeah, it seems like it has like a little hint of like a tan undertone to it. There isn't too much of a difference though, like, it's very minimal. So the next shade that we are going to be using is Wild Cherry. And then using this BH Cosmetics number 7 brush out of the Lavender Luxe set, I'm just gonna be popping that baby right into the crease to help deepen it out. And I'm also gonna use it to round out my outer V, as well as the inner third. And once it's applied, I'm just doing these little circular motions to blend it upwards. You know, as a first impression though, like, I really like the color of that, like, that's super pretty. But I'm just gonna go in with another layer, just to help kind of like deepen it up a little bit, and to make it look like it does in the pan. Oh yeah, it's building up beautifully. But I will say so far these two shades have been really intensely pigmented. Oh yeah, like, that's blending out like butter. Sometimes reds are really hard to work with, and I'm going to be really curious about the deeper one in here, especially the matte one. And then out of the Blood Sugar palette, we're just going to go in with this shade called Prick. Then using a different BH Cosmetics What Are You in number 7, I'm just going to be applying that right into my crease again. And I'll say Prick is actually one of my least favorite shades in Blood Sugar. I just find it really hard to work with sometimes. Maybe it'll be different now, I'm not too sure, but I've never had like a super good experience with it. They look similar, but this side looks a little bit brighter. And then out of the Cherry on Top palette, I'm just going to go in with this true red shade called Tart. Again, I'm just doing the exact same thing, so popping it right into my crease. Maybe this will help kind of like even it out too. I mean, literally, that was only one dip. And I'm just going to kind of like finesse the edges a little bit. And I'm going to be doing a halo style today, I think. Wow, like, I just can't get over that this palette has like this much pigment to it. Because usually for me, BH palettes are a little bit more on the buildable side. But like this palette to me is definitely a one dip wonder. Like you don't even have to do 2 layers unless you want to. And then on the blood sugar side, I'm just going to go in with the shade called Cherry Soda. Then I'm just going to be applying Cherry Soda right into the crease. Again, doing like these little circular motions, blend upwards. And also kind of like rounding out the outer third and the inner third. So far it seems like the Cherry on Top palette is a little bit more on the vibrant side. Like it almost has like a neon pop to it. And the blood sugar side does not have it, even after applying that shade called Prick. So now we're going to be going in with the deepest red in the palette, and that is called Sprinkles. And I'm just going to be taking it on this BH Cosmetics number 9 brush out of the Lavender Luxe set. And again, popping this right into my crease. And this is honestly the shade that I'm the most curious about because a lot of times deeper reds give so many harsh lines and they're so tricky to work with. So I'm really curious to see how the formula is on this shade. And I am slightly building it up as well. Ooh, she might be giving some harsh lines. I'm not sure yet. You know, so far, like, right in here, it actually looks fairly nice. And I'm gonna warn you, like, right here in this center part of my crease, I do have a little bit of a dry spot. I've been trying out some retinol eye creams, and sometimes my eyes just do not like it. They're super sensitive. And I have, like, the ugliest, like, little dry spot right here right now. And then out of the blood sugar palette, I'm just gonna go in with the shade called Fresh Meat. And using a different BH Cosmetics number 9, I'm just gonna be applying that right into my crease. Ooh, that's a lot more sheer than I remember. Almost seems like the BH one is a little bit more pigmented. I feel like I'm going to be playing the build-up game with this one. And I'm just going to keep on building up this shade until I can get it to the depth that I'm looking for. So now we're going to start working on the lid, and the first shade that we are going to be going in with is a shimmery red in the palette called Black Cherry. And then using a dampened Sigma E55, I'm just going to be applying that right to the center of my lid. And oh my, like that is actually really intense. I don't know if you guys can see it, but in person it is super sparkly. It almost is like a red wet metallic shimmer. It's a super sick color though. And when I'm doing this, I'm slightly bringing it up a little bit farther than my natural crease, just because I have slightly hooded eyes, and this kind of helps open them up a little bit. I just can't get over how beautiful this color is. Like it's super intense with the shimmer too. And when I say that, it's not like a glitter shimmer, it's definitely like a wet metallic type. It's just one of those shades you just don't see all that much, especially with a good formula. And then on the blood sugar side, we're just going to go in with the red metallic called Blood Sugar. I'm just going to go in with another damp and flat shader brush. That is so lackluster. I don't know if you guys can see it, but damn, like that has like no shimmer at all to it. I can see why I don't use this shade. Like seriously, like look at that. Literally no sparkle. And this palette's that expensive and it didn't have that sparkle to it. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with my finger and see if it makes a difference. Because that shimmer sucks. I mean, you know, when the cheap palette has a better shimmer, you kind of wonder. You know what I mean? Like his matte formula is really good, but the shimmers are just so hit and miss. And I know people are gonna come for me on that, but seriously, I have a lot of them, and some shimmers are really good and others, oh, they're just terrible. So for the center of the lid, I'm just going to go in with this pink shimmery shade called Sweet. And then I'm just going to take it with my finger right in the dead center. Ooh, I really like that with that red shimmer though. Like that looks sick. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm in a My Chemical Romance music video right now. And this is kind of like taking me back to like my high school days when I used to wear red eyeshadow like all the time. So for the blood sugar side, I'm just going to go in with the shimmer shade called Candy Floss. And I'm just going to take it on my finger on the other eye. Yeah, like this shimmer literally sucks. Look at that. Like there's literally no sparkle. Again, I'm applying it dry, but still like the BH side is where I want the blood sugar side to be at. I don't know, the shimmers in this palette just honestly suck. I'm applying it with my finger dampened, and let's see if it kind of makes a difference. Yeah, it's just not that great, honestly. I honestly don't know what to think about this look right now, but off camera though, I'm just gonna quickly clean things up a little bit because as you can tell, I got a lot of fallout on my face. Like it literally looks so rosy right underneath my eyes. And I mean, it's a look, but not the look I'm going for, if you know what I mean. And I'm also going to, you know, apply like my complexion products, my liner, my lashes, and all of that good stuff. And then afterwards, I'll be right back to finish up the look. So off camera, when I was doing my makeup, I was kind of like experimenting a little bit. Like I did like a super bronzy look just to kind of like even things out. And then I also did like this grungy kind of like smoky lip. And man, like I could probably wear this every single day. Like it is so cool. And if you're wondering what it is the KVD Vegan Beauty Liquid Lipstick. And this one's in the shade Sanctuary. And I did like that everywhere. And then right in the dead center here, I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lipstick. And this one's in Milkshake. So let's start working on the lower lash line, and I'm first going to go in with the Cherry on Top palette, and I'm going to go in with that bright True Red shade called Tart. And then using this little teeny tiny Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush, I'm just going to smoke this right underneath the lower lash line. And oh my gosh, like that is so pigmented. Literally only one dip. Like I just can't get over how pigmented this BH palette is, like it's nutty. And then on the blood sugar side, I'm just going to go back in with Cherry Soda. And again, I'm just going to be popping this right underneath my lower lash line. And man, like, I feel like I should be in an MCR music video though, like, seriously. Like, this is bringing me back to my good old high school days. So for the inner corner highlight, I mean, you could use those lighter shimmer shades that we used earlier, but honestly, I want something a little bit on the different side. So we're going to be going in with one of my absolute favorite highlighting palettes, and this is the Dream Glow Kit from Anastasia. And I'm going to go in with this pink one called Unicorn. And I'm just going to take it on this Morphe pencil brush, and I'm just going to be packing it like super, super heavy in this inner corner. And why do I have like this weird eye boogie right there? Go away. I do not want a red eye boogie because that's going to mess this makeup up. Like I vibe with the pink, but at the same time I kind of want to use two different highlighters. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of want a really interesting inner corner. I don't know why I'm in the mood to play with makeup though. You guys ever get like that when you like have a look you want to do in your head, and then once you start doing it, then everything kind of like changes? Because that is me right now. I am literally gonna have the hardest time watching this look off tonight. Like I don't know what is up about it, but it's just so cool and so fun. But I gotta say, I just really am shook as to how similar these palettes are. You know, like when I was going into it, I was like, yeah, you know, the shades are a little bit similar, but you know, like the finished look, it's like, dang, like they're really close. So I'm going to get up close and personal so you guys can see all the nitty gritty details. And this is the BH Cosmetics side. And as you can see, it's just a little bit more vibrant. And also the shimmers in here are like super sparkly and they look so cool on the eye. And then here's the blood sugar side. And as you can see, like the mattes in here, they're vibrant, but not as vibrant as the BH side. And also the shimmers in here are a little bit lackluster. So after trying out both palettes, would I consider the Cherry on Top palette to be a dupe for the Blood Sugar palette? And honestly, I don't know if I would consider it a dupe just because there are a couple of shades that aren't like super, super close, but I would consider it a great alternative. And honestly, in some ways, it's probably a little bit better than Blood Sugar just because those shimmers in there, like perfect. Super sparkly, and they just have like that beautiful wet metallic to them. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I do love my Blood Sugar palette, but again, I'm not going to be supporting Jeffree Star Cosmetics, so if you're like me and you're not going to be supporting him, but you want Blood Sugar, this is going to be the most perfect palette for you. And do take in consideration, Blood Sugar does have a lot more shades and a lot more variety, because I mean, again, you do get those dark, grungy kind of red colors, but you also get these purpley, kind of like burgundies, you get a bright purple, you get some neutral shades, you get a gold, so there's just a little bit more that you can do with Blood Sugar. And the Blood Sugar palette is over $50, like she's a pretty penny. And the BH Cosmetics Cherry on Top palette is $18. And I mean, it is a little bit up there for BH Cosmetics, but again, the pan sizes are very large, and also BH runs a lot of sales, so just keep that in mind. So if you're somebody that wants to explore red eyeshadow, or if you wanted Blood Sugar and now you're like, girl, I don't want that palette anymore, get yourself the Cherry on Top palette. Like literally, you will not regret it. I just cannot get over how nice this palette is though. Like seriously, it blew my mind. Like the mattes in here, so buttery, so pigmented. I didn't even have to build them up if I didn't want to. And the shimmers you guys saw were just so glorious. Literally like this wet metallic goodness on the eyes. So right here, I'm gonna insert some swatches for you guys. And then this is what the palettes look like next to each other. So here's Sunday out of the BH palette, and then here is Tongue Pop out of the Blood Sugar palette. So here is Sunday, and here is Tongue Pop. So here is Wild Cherry out of the BH palette, and then here is Prick out of the Blood Sugar palette. Wild Cherry, Prick. So here's Tart out of the BH palette, and then here is Cherry Soda out of Blood Sugar. Tart, Cherry Soda. So here's Sprinkles out of the BH palette and Fresh Meat out of Blood Sugar. Sprinkles, Fresh Meat. Black Cherry out of the BH palette and Blood Sugar out of the Blood Sugar palette. Black Cherry, Blood Sugar. Sweet out of the BH palette and Candy Floss out of the Blood Sugar palette. Sweet, Candy Floss. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about the look and also the palettes. And as always though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on my Instagram page, it is @Breyonna Faye. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!